you ever feel nostalgic for movies?
Too much.
I like watching old movies sometimes, but I don't go out of my way to watch them all the time. I really like watching new movies.
Oh, I'll watch the same movie over and over. It's a sickness.
What's one movie you've watched recently over and over again?
Predator! You know this!
I say this as someone who's watched Just Friends for 2 weeks straight every night.
That was a sickness.
That was weird. And I've seen That's My Boy probably 100 times. So I guess I'm nostalgic for movies from 2012.
2012 was a fine year for movies.
I think
You had Skyfall. I think you might have had The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo. It was a solid year for 2 movies. Nostalgia! That is nostalgia!
I think when most people talk about nostalgia and movies, they probably think about movies from the 80s and the 90s, don't they?
Predator!
That movie and Commando. God, the 80s just had such an aesthetic to their movies that was...
You know what? The men were beefy. The music fucked.
There was a bicep requirement for action movies, and I really miss those types of action movies. The action movies with Arnold and even Sylvester Stallone, but mostly Arnold. I mean, look at him. He was a beefcake in every single one of those movies, and he kicked ass.
It's just, we have lost the art of beefcakes whose second language is English, making puns and killing people with their bare hands.
It's a very specific niche.
I know! Nostalgia!
Because there's no movie that really compares to Arnold's body of work.
Exactly.
I can't think of another actor who's even come close to that. Like, you think of a guy like The Rock, his movies aren't anywhere near as fun. Arnold isn't the best actor ever, but at least he had comedic timing down to a T.
He was very good in Junior.
You know what? Junior is not that bad of a
Junior's
movie.
a good movie.
Junior gets a bad rap. I think it's alright.
Junior, other than the fact that he's having a butt baby, is a good movie.
God, they never really get too into specifics with that. I think they just kind of...
They get enough into specifics that they say he has a perineum baby. Very specifically addressed in the movie. Then they put him on a buttload of hormones. It's so stupid and so good. It's wholesome. It's bad. But Arnold, the reason it's good is because Arnold plays it wholesome.
Which do you like better, wholesome Arnold or action Arnold?
Oh, Action Arnold.
The only movies that I would consider the manliest movie ever made is either Commando or Predator.
Yep.
And those are the only ones. I can't think of other movies that are manlier than those, except maybe Conan or something.
Second manliest movie ever made, Rocky. It's not an Arnold movie, but it fucks.
I mean, Rocky's not bad. I like Rocky.
Rocky is good. Even my grandma, who used to be a nun, likes Rocky. She loves violence.
Your grandma loves Rocky too much.
She'll watch Rocky in English. She'll watch Rocky in Italian. She'll watch Rocky in Spanish.
I swear to God, like a month passes by and your grandma cracks her knuckles and says, well, it's time for the old Rocky marathon again.
She watched Rocky yesterday.
Well, there it goes. It's that time of the month.
Yup.
Why do you think people get so nostalgic over old-ass movies?
Because when something was good, you remember the good parts. And when something was bad, you remember the bad parts. So if you were like a kid and you had no responsibilities and you had a really good time going to the movie theater and watching Star Wars, then you're going to love Star Wars for the rest of your life. I think it's that simple.
You know what? God help the kids that went to see the Disney trilogy in theaters and had a lot of fun doing it.
Yeah.
Because those movies are ass when you come back to them years and years later.
Yep.
It's one of those things. Sometimes when you watch things as a kid, you love them and you had a great time doing it, and then you go back and watch them when you're all grown up and realize, wow, this is awful. Dude, all these remakes that they're making of these Disney movies are awful.
Yes.
They're second rate compared to the original. I haven't watched a single one of them. And the latest one is Lilo and Stitch, and apparently they just got rid of the antagonist in that movie for the remake, and I don't even know how you have a movie without the antagonist.
I was just hearing about that, and the bad guys certainly can't be the government hunting down illegal aliens.
Because Disney movies are a psyop now. They literally have the government telling them now how they should be represented in the movie.
Apparently, like, the ice cream dude is different, and it's like, she's not taking pictures of tourists anymore, she's just taking pictures of, like, her own people, and it's different because it's not like, it doesn't say anything like it did before. It's not flipping the stereotype on its head. It's not smart. Because I don't think movies try as hard anymore. And that's another reason I think that they don't hit the same. I think movies used to be made with more love, and I think that that shows.
Yeah, everything seems like it's processed by AI anymore. Either that or it's run through focus group after focus group.
It kind of loses that love.
Have you ever noticed that the color grading on everything looks like trash now? Everything looks dull and depressing.
Yes! And then that also just makes you nostalgic for the colors of your childhood. Especially if you grew up in like the 80s or the 90s.
It's kind of funny to watch a movie now and just see how depressing it looks versus a movie that was made back, during the 90s when everything had actual color to it.
I think we're getting into a weird place where some people are nostalgic for like actual like old movies, but also I think a lot of young people and like TikTok people are nostalgic for what they consider old movies, and those movies are like max 15 years old.
God.
And I think that creates a very interesting situation.
That's what they think an old movie is, huh?
So they're then nostalgic for what I would consider to be not a good movie.
Well, why wouldn't you just go watch the original then? Why would you want to watch a remake?
Because they can't stand the pixelation. Because, okay, that's another thing. So we watched our old things on an old TV.
Okay.
Or in the theaters. And either way, it was calibrated for what we were watching it on. Now you watch an old movie on a new TV, and it don't look right. Hand-drawn cell animation has only ever been rendered so good, and that's why like they've been remastering things from the Disney Vault. It's a literal Disney Vault. Some of that stuff has been literally lost and can't be remastered. And you pop that stuff onto a big screen, like an unremastered Bambi or something like that, and it's beautiful, but it's fuzzy.
So a little bit of fuzziness and they can't handle it?
It's not just a little fuzzy.
Come on, it's not that bad.
No, but it's bad enough that if you're showing this to a child for the first time and they have the option to watch something that's not fuzzy, they won't watch it. Even like The Matrix. They don't watch like The Matrix. That I consider a cultural milestone.
Why do you consider it a cultural milestone?
Because it's Y2K the movie.
Have you ever been to a movie theater and people start pulling out their phone and like scrolling Instagram or TikTok anymore because they're like unable to focus during the movie playing? It boggles my mind that someone would pay for a ticket just to pull out their phone and start dicking around on TikTok.
It's actually one of my metrics for whether or not a movie is good is whether or not people are checking their phone in it.
So many movies have been like 2.5 and 3 hours over the past few years, man.
And you know what it is? It's just that you used to release a movie that was 90 minutes and you had your director's cut, which is like my jerking off to everything that I've done 2.5 hours. This is what I would have done if I didn't have to cut things that I liked.
There's a few director's cuts I've watched that have been pretty decent, but by and large, I mean, there's a reason that some scenes got cut. Blade Runner is significantly different from the theatrical cut.
Okay. I also think nostalgia is why some genres do better than others. Like, I think that's why zombie and vampire movies will always have a chance. Maybe also because that's nostalgic. Maybe it reminds you of being a kid and being scared, but also like your parents are going to take care of an actual problem.
I think watching something new is scary for people.
Yeah, because you know what sucks? Change.
Change is hard.
Yes, it is. And you know what's not changing? An old movie that you've watched 100 times.
That's my boy's always gonna be the same.
This is unfortunately true.
You know what actually used to be all the rage was making movies based on old ass TV shows, which again capitalizing on nostalgia. Remember the Starsky and Hutch movie, and the Dukes of Hazzard movie,
Okay.
and the A-Team movie.
Yes, okay, and I remember my mom showing us the new Starsky and Hutch movie, and then as she's doing it joyfully, gleefully, remembering and explaining the old TV show. Same thing with Charlie's Angels. We had that 90s movie, and it's like, you watch that, and then your mom and your aunt tell you all about Farrah Fawcett and the original Angels and how everybody had fair hair in the 70s. You know what's bad? Is it came full circle. I'm at craft night with my friend, and her little 10-year-old niece is talking about, like, the whatever movie the kids nowadays use as, like, a litmus test for being able to, like, run around in heels. And I was like, oh, like the Charlie's Angels test. And she didn't know what Charlie's Angels was. And then I gleefully explained the 90s Charlie's Angels to this 10-year-old girl.
So nostalgia makes us crave things from the past, obviously. It makes us want movies based on things that we've already seen. It makes us want to see the same old in a new package with a
Yep.
shiny coat of paint.
Yep.
Well, guys, what are your favorite nostalgic experiences? Do you feel like nostalgia is shaping the way you watch movies? Do you feel like you watch the same old all the time on repeat? Do you feel like movies are just not really doing it for you unless they're doing a remake or a reboot? Or are you just tired of all this crap altogether? Be sure to check out our other videos in the meantime, guys, and I'll catch you again soon. We'll catch you again soon.
Bye.
Have a great day, everyone. Bye-bye.